This idea of quitting the rat race appeals to just about everybody. Most of us have a feeling deep inside of us that what we're doing is not the perfect right thing that we really should be doing or could be doing or want to be doing. And we're stuck in jobs that we don't like, commuting, waking up at times where we haven't gotten enough sleep. And all of that leads to this ideology, this imaginary way of quitting this race, quitting this rat race, getting out of it, quitting the job, starting something where you feel endlessly aligned with what you're doing and happy and in flow and everything is right as it is. And that is a very worthy goal. But I think, and I see this a lot, and I've been a victim of this myself, is that when you quit one rat race, you quit that corporate job rat race that so many of us see as the rat race, you find yourself just in another rat race. Really, you're just you zoomed out of one maze and you realize that you're in another maze. There's honestly a lot of traps of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of traps of working for yourself, and there's a lot of traps of success, because what is it that you're actually trying to achieve? Because so many of us get onto this entrepreneurial path to get rich, to quit the job, whatever it is, and we never really have a clear picture of what it is that we're going for, what our vision of being out of the rat race would look like. How do we want our free time to look, and how do we want to spend it? And this is really the cause for the first trap of entrepreneurship, is that if you're coming from that corporate world of being pushed constantly, and then you get into your own thing and you've quit the rat race, now most people end up pushing themselves harder than ever. They're working harder than they even were when they had the job. And I've definitely been there myself. And so maybe you did escape that corporate rat race that you talk down upon, but now you are enslaving yourself more than ever, and you're working harder than ever. You're shooting for goals that you don't even know why you're trying to achieve them. You're running yourself straight into the ground, and all to maybe make more money than you made last year, even if you already made enough, maybe to build a bigger business than you have in the past or than your friends or family have built. Maybe it's to prove that you can do it to people that don't believe it to you, and to stick it to them. A lot of people use that negativity as fuel because we want to show that we can, and to show that we're able and capable and have, the smarts, the hustle, the effort, the planning, the discipline to achieve these great things so we can impress people and all of that. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that each of those things is still the rat race. And you haven't escaped the rat race if you've quit the corporate job, but now you're still trying to impress people. You're still trying to just outdo yourself. You're still just trying to have these outward showings of success rather than truly being out of this rat race that you think you're out of, and just enjoying and building what you want your life to look like. And again, I've been guilty of this, because for a while I was militant about, quit the job and you have to go for it on your own. And I still do get into that mindset a lot of times. And I think that's great advice for a lot of people that are stuck doing things that they hate. But I've also seen the other side, and I've also seen that entrepreneurs and solo business owners and people that build teams or giant businesses or medium businesses or small businesses, they enslave themselves to a point that they're more of a slave. They're more in the maze. They're more in the rat race than the person who might just work 9 to 5 at a job they're pretty content with, make plenty of money, and then use all the other time for their hobbies, their friends, their family, side projects, whatever it is. And I know people that work jobs that are very present, very happy, and that is in a way less of a rat race than the entrepreneur who is constantly on the hamster wheel of trying to build something bigger and bigger and bigger, and trying to impress and trying to show off and trying to make more and more money, and trying to, or even impact. Even impact could be an ego type of goal. You want to show that you are building the biggest impactful thing, and that so you can leave your mark on the world. There's a lot of that, which I think also still stems from ego in entrepreneurship right now. And it's strange to get your head around because that seems like this out of body thing. It seems like this thing that is helping the world, and it is, and it can be. But if that is your measure of success, is the dent you leave on the world, then you're still not really thinking about yourself. You're still just kind of thinking about the perspective of the world onto you and on your achievements. And I don't know if the goal is to leave the race completely and to just, go live in a tent somewhere and have, no ego and no business and no job and all of this stuff. I'm not saying that's the goal. I don't think it is. I think that there's something human and fundamental towards working towards something, creating and producing things and putting them out there in the world. But I think that a lot of entrepreneurs are not even really looking for what they want. They're looking for the affirmations that people will give them if they succeed, from their family, their friends, their YouTube subscribers, their peers, and just all these other trappings of entrepreneurship and life and business and money that are not even necessarily mapping to the life that you're trying to build for yourself. And so I just think it's an important reminder to recenter yourself. And maybe you do need to quit the job. Maybe that is the first thing that you need to do. But beware of the trap of the rat race just outside the rat race that you think you're quitting, because I think that there is a whole world of entrepreneurs that are wrapped up in the rat race, despite thinking that they have somehow escaped it. And I definitely don't mean to make this sound like I'm the one person that has figured this out and transcended this. I still fall into these traps all the time. But over this past year, it's just something that I've been thinking about more and more and more is, how do I really want to be spending my time, my limited lifespan, and making sure that I'm not just doing it for these outward rewards that are not really rewards to myself. So what do you think of this idea? Let me know in the comments. This is definitely one where I would love to hear from you. Do you see what I'm getting at? Do you see this around you in yourself or in other people? I'm just curious to know your thoughts, and I'll leave it at that for this sort of thought experiment video. And if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Those things really help with the YouTube algorithm and potentially showing my channel to some new faces. And if you are that new face and I popped up in your feed and you're wondering who this guy is, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I try to think about things a little bit outside of the box in my approach to entrepreneurship. And yeah, I think you should check out the channel and other things that I'm doing. I just created a newsletter. This is not a spammy internet marketer newsletter, but it's just something where I want to put together some thoughts, kind of like things that went into this video. It might be product recommendations. It might be a piece of content that I watched in the past week that really inspired me, just random things, and practicing writing. I want to hone my writing skills over the next few years. That's a goal of mine. So I thought the newsletter would be a place to do that. So I will link that in the description, and you can get yourself signed up for that. It's at mattloberstein.com. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram. You can see a little bit more behind the scenes, what I'm up to, off these YouTube videos. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video once again, and take care. See you soon.